G'day guys, an update on the tropical fruits that are growing in the grow tent at the moment, starting with the Black Sapote, and there's two on this plant. They're currently the size of approximately a smallish tomato, and they keep putting on size. They are growing a little bit slower than I thought. I would have thought they'd put on more size than this by now, but that's okay. They're ticking along nicely. In this back corner over here we had some Carambola, some Starfruit, which had aborted their last set of fruit, and I've stepped up the watering since then and they've put on some new fruit. So these are now the size of a large habanero chili, a bit bigger than that maybe, and they've been putting on size continually over the last few weeks. I wouldn't be surprised if these would be ready in 3 to 4 weeks from now. These Carambola, this plant in general is doing really well. It's putting on a lot of size and growth and leaf action since, importantly, I think spider mites have exited the tent. I haven't seen any signs of spider mites since putting those little predatory mites into the tent, and since then even these figs, for instance this fig down here, had been previously affected by spider mites, and now we have leaves larger than the size of my hand on this plant here. So I actually think the spider mites did a much bigger lot of damage than I thought in the tent. Another good example is this jackfruit over here. So all of these leaves that are browned at the tips, falling off the plant, these are where the spider mites were, and they came in, they did devastating damage to this plant, even though there was such what seemed a small amount of mites. Since putting the predatory mites in the tent, we've got new green growth happening along the plant, and that's made a big difference. This is another fig that was affected by the spider mites, and since then is putting on beautiful unaffected green dark leaves. And while we're over this side of the tent, another interesting development, we have our Bunchosia over here. Looks like it's about to put on flowers. So the Bunchosia is the peanut butter fruit, so we'll see what that takes, see what they taste like when they finally do grow. These are a fruit about the size of a grape, and these apparently taste exactly like peanut butter, so I'm looking forward to them coming on and testing out the flavors of those. I do believe that this is going to flower fairly shortly. This is a Brazilian cherry. It's putting on a lot of size. It actually flowered very briefly last year when it put on a growth flush like this, so wouldn't be surprised to see this flower shortly. And another one that I wouldn't be surprised to flower is this one over here. This is the Patanga Tuba, and this was a simple stem, a single branch when I put in the tent only about 4 months ago, and now it's branching out everywhere, and I suspect that it's almost due to put on its first flower flush, but we will yet to see. Anyway guys, a bit of an update. This is a plant that was affected by aphids, all gone. The biological controls are superb. I do recommend them. This video is about the fruits, and they're coming along nicely. We'll keep an eye on them. We'll see when they go, and we'll finally taste them when they become ripe. And in the meantime, I'll catch you all in the next one.